Hey guys, I'm Tim with Original Strength, and this week I wanted to create a How to Strengthen Your Pelvic Floor Part 2. So this is the second part, and I will put the link to the first part in the notes or the comment section of the video in case you haven't seen that yet. But this is part 2. And really, this is kind of how to restore your pelvic floor. And really, it's just kind of how to restore your health. So what we're going to do is we are going to breathe. So your diaphragm and your pelvic floor, they're like twin diaphragms. And if we can get our breathing diaphragm doing its absolute best, then more than likely our pelvic floor will be doing its absolute best too. And so, but the first things first, we're going to put our tongue on the roof of our mouth. That's the most important thing. Because it's the easiest thing to do. And if your tongue is where it belongs and doing what it's supposed to do, then more than likely your pelvic floor is going to have a much better chance of doing what it's supposed to do. So tongue on the roof of your mouth, and we're just going to get small like this. So if you can, you just hunker down on your forearms and your knees. And if you want to, you can just drop your head or rest your head on your hands. And you're going to try to breathe deep down into your belly. But really, you're going to try to breathe inside of your pelvis. And while you're doing this, try to develop an awareness of what your pelvic floor is doing. In other words, see if you can't feel your pelvic floor move when you breathe. All right, so we're just going to rest here and breathe down into our pelvis. And some of you will actually feel your pelvic floor moving with your diaphragm. But even if you don't feel it moving, that is okay. Just try to breathe, relax, keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth, try to relax and breathe deep down into your belly / down into your pelvis. So this is step 1. And you can do this, like everybody's always asking, well, how many sets, how many reps, how much time? You know what, show up every day and just do a little bit. So let's say 2 minutes, all right? So step 1 is here, and now step 2 is we're going to put one leg behind us, so we're still short and now long at the same time. And we're going to do the same thing. So you're just going to rest here. And so by doing this, we've kind of taken the pelvic bowl and we're just twisting it a little bit. We're just trying to, move some things around, but we're still trying to tap into our diaphragm and get both of those twin buddy diaphragms moving together. So tongue on the roof of your mouth. Breathe down into your pelvis here. So you might do this side for 2 minutes, and then you would switch to the other side. You want to do both sides because you have 2 sides. And so step 3 is we're going to go from here to here. And by being in this position, or some people call this a tabletop position, we're just putting more of a challenge on our diaphragm because we're getting a reflexive response now through our body. We've increased the load, so to speak. And by increasing the load, we've increased the amount of information that's going to our brain, and it's going to increase the output. It's going to make it a challenge to breathe to our diaphragm, so we're increasing the load to meet the demand. All of that to say is we're challenging the diaphragm more so that we can challenge the pelvic floor more. Talk in circles sometimes, but it's okay, just hang with me. So we're just going to hang out here and breathe. And again, if you can, relax your belly, tongue on the roof of your mouth, and try to breathe down into your pelvis. And this is a great position to learn pelvic floor awareness. Can you feel your pelvic floor move and spread as you breathe down into your belly? So, by breathing down or using our diaphragm to fill our lungs up from the bottom to the top, the diaphragm is dropping and the pelvic floor is dropping. And then when we exhale, the diaphragm rises and the pelvic floor rises. So the bigger the inhale we do, the more we jump on those 2 diaphragms or those 2 trampolines. So if we exhale larger, we can actually pull both of those diaphragms / trampolines up. So what we're gonna do now in this position is, and this is weird, but you're gonna like it because it's kind of fun. It reminds me of a lion. We're just gonna give a great big sigh. So you're gonna go, but you're gonna continue that until it runs out, all right? So you're just gonna let it run its course, and when it absolutely runs out and it finishes, you're gonna inhale, and then notice what you feel. So, big breath in. Now you may want to do that one when you're alone, and I understand you don't want to draw attention to yourself. But if you do that and you let that run its course, you're letting the diaphragm really travel up to help the air get out of the lungs. And then when you're also pulling up your pelvic floor, and then when you breathe in, they both jump back down or bounce back down. And you may have an acute awareness that that's actually happening, which is cool because you get to see and feel how your pelvic floor and your diaphragm work together. All right, one last thing, and this one's just for fun, but there's good stuff here. And if you do this, you may enjoy it. But now this is step 2 from the step 1, so this is a progression, okay? Don't feel like you need to do this right off the bat. But we're just gonna sink back down into this position here. And while we're breathing, you're just gonna breathe normal or down into your belly with your tongue under your mouth, and you're just gonna gently rock back and forth or small little bounces. So it's not even that you're rocking as much as you're bouncing. And you're just breathing. And just notice what your pelvic floor is doing. Now this is gentle, be gentle, don't be aggressive. And that's it. Maybe you do that for 2 minutes too. Anyway, that's it. Those are the 4 things. I think it was 4, it might have been 5. But those are the 4 to 5 things that you can do to help restore your pelvic floor. And really, again, it's just to restore your health in general. You are just reclaiming your diaphragm's ability to do its job. You're putting your tongue back where it belongs, and you're just telling your nervous system where everything's at so that your pelvic floor has its best opportunity to function as it's designed to function too. So I hope that helps. Again, if you haven't seen part 1, the notes are in the comment section. Give this a shot and let me know what you think. I'm Tim with Original Strength, and we'll see you next time.
To learn more, consider attending an Original Strength workshop. Visit originalstrength.net.